and we're gonna this time transform this here house into a character of sorts, and I'm gonna do a few things here, but it's mainly just kind of amalgamation of the things I've already been doing. So let's get started here. First of all, it's good to note that because we have our materials assigned by vertex groups, when I start playing with this, the colors are probably going to get destroyed. They're going to just get all messed up, so just expect this to be ugly. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select these 4 verts on the side, and I'm going to extrude them out to make an arm. Whoop. There we go. Now it looks like I got some arms sticking out. Neato. So notice when you drag this, the other side moves too, and that is because of the mirror modifier. It's the beauty of mirror modifiers. So I got arms. Now I'm going to drag some legs out. So I'm going to do face select this time instead of verts, and I'm going to grab this face here, and I'm going to extrude it down. Extrude is pressing E, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you press E, and then you can drag the handles where you want them. I'm just going to keep them like that for now. The reason why I'm dragging out the pieces straight is I'm going for a T-pose. Now, T-pose is used for character rigging, so I could actually rig this for you. So we're going to go for a T-pose. So I'm just dragging this arm out, and then, yeah. So I need to just kind of make a decision here. How detailed do I want this to be? I sort of like how simple this is, so I'm just going to drag out the legs a little longer and the arms a little longer. So, you know, I'm kind of happy with that. Close. Let's make the arms longer because I probably want to like do some cool stuff with the arms, let the arms move around, and you know, long arms are going to be useful for that. So, legs too. Let's just make the legs longer. So basically, I just selected those edges and I pulled them out, and that was basically all I had to do, and now I have arms. And notice the materials worked out, and I think if I were to grab this one, let's see what happens. Yeah, it picks up the material of the surrounding verts and it just applies it to the new thing. So that's really cool. Now if I render this, you'll see there's a problem now. I don't see any problems actually. That's good. I was worried there'd be a duplicate face here, but that didn't happen. So I must have Control Z'd undone that modification that I made. So here's my character in a T-pose. The house is now a character. So what is character rigging? Okay, let's talk about that. So character rigging is when you add an armature to an object in Blender, and what armatures do are they grab the verts and then they influence the position, rotation, and scale of those verts based on what you do to the armature. So an armature grabs verts and manipulates them in space. That's the way they think about it. So what we're going to do is add, I'm going to add an armature here, and I'm not really going to talk through it too much because I just want to kind of show you what this is. So you got to go back into object mode, and now I'm going to create a armature. An armature is this hexagonal kind of prism thing. It looks really cool. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to position it inside my character around where the hips would be if this thing had hips. So if I start to move this in, you notice it disappears, and that's no good. So what you do is you go on your property tab and you select the armature, and you go down here where it says X-ray, and you click that, and now you will always see it no matter what. Now you can use the numpad to switch viewports settings. So notice in the upper left it says front perspective, and then when I press numpad 3 it goes to right perspective. Now you notice things are farther away or smaller than things up close. That's a problem when you're doing rigging. So I'm going to change it to ortho mode, which is by pressing 5, and notice it changed to ortho up in the corner here. So this is kind of what you want to use when you're rigging. You want to use ortho mode, and usually I set it to side so that I can position things where I want. So I'm just putting my bone, this is what these called, they're bones. I'm going to put my bone right above the legs, Press 3 to go back into right mode, right above the legs. And now I'm going to modify this armature. So to do that, I hit tab into edit mode. And now I can edit this armature. So switch to the bone tab to talk about different bones. So I'm going to call this root. And the root bone is where all the other bones are connected to. And this is important because you need a root bone to be able to define, like, you know, what's going on. So root bone, by moving the root bone, you're going to move the whole shape. So then what you do is you select these, either the top end or the back end. And this is like to create a parent or to create a child. So the small end is the child, so child end. So I'm going to select here and I'm going to bring it up. And probably about to here, and that's like where my arms are going to extend out, and then I'm going to go up again, probably to here. And this is, you know, so that I can move the head forward and back and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to select here, and I'm going to press 1 to go in front mode, and I'm going to extend this down, and then upper arm, lower arm, hand. Okay, and then I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to go down. There's a hip bone, upper leg, lower leg, foot. Okay. And now I want to keep it just like that because it is a very simple armature. Yeah. And now I want to duplicate this work onto the other side, but I don't have to go through all that work I just did. And also, you know, right now these don't really have descriptive names, and that's not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here, and I'm going to call this spine. So yeah, just to change the name, you just select the bone. You're on this bone tab. You're going to select here, backspace. I'm going to call this the head bone, and you just go through and you just do this. Now with things that are symmetrical, you want to actually give them a name like dot L, and what that means is this is the left shoulder. Now you're saying, well, that's on the right side, Ash. Well, yes, it's on the right side, but I'm in front mode, and if you think about it like 3D, this is actually the character's left shoulder, right? So then I'm gonna hit enter. Okay. And the reason why you use this convention is there's some automation tools in Blender that work if you use the .L, .R syntax. I might not get it to work, but I'm going to try. Something that I'm not very good at right now. Okay, and now I need to do the leg. So this bone here is going to be called hip.L. Make sure you hit enter before you select away. I do that a lot. Hip. No, that's not hip. That's upper leg. .L. Okay, foot.L. So all these are now named upper arm, lower arm, you know, spine, head, you know, all these things are now named. So what I'm going to do now is duplicate these and flip them over the x-axis, and then I'm going to have, you know, a complete armature. So to do that, I can circle select all my bones that I need to duplicate, you know, hold shift and, you know, right click to get the rest of them. Do I need to duplicate the spine? Nope. So hold shift and click that away. What's going on here? So oh well, we'll just see what happens if we do it. So it's selecting for me a little extra. I don't really want this middle one selected, but it seems to be telling me that I need it selected. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna, maybe let's just duplicate the arms and legs separately. Okay, so I got the arms selected. Click Armature. Duplicate. Okay, and then cancel the translation of that by right-clicking. And now what you have is all of these things, and now they've been renamed .001, and that's yucky. You don't want that. So I'm gonna auto name, flip names. Let's try that. Yay! So now all those changed to .r. So they took out the .001 and it changed it to a .r. So that's really nice. Okay, now I'm gonna go Armature, mirror. What does it say? No, it's symmetrize. There you go. So sweet. Now I got a shoulder, left, right. Ew. Wait, let's back up. Okay. I need to grab shoulder, upper arm. This is the right stuff. I'm supposed to select all these and then say Armature, symmetrize. Let's try doing that a different way. Instead of symmetrize, let's try mirror X global. Nope. Armature, mirror X local? No. Let's just do shoulder right, shoulder. Okay, I got all my arms selected. These are all R, and what I would assume is they would just force it over the other side, but it didn't happen. So when I hit symmetrize or whatever, oh well, it's just what it is. Okay, so I got left, I got right. Okay, let's do the same thing for the legs. Select the legs. Okay, Shift D, which is duplicate, or you can select it from the menus. Right click to cancel the translation. And then I'm going to go Armature, flip names. Now I got them called R.R. And then I'm going to go Armature, symmetrize, and then they move. So now I got my left stuff on the left, my right stuff on the right. I'd rather it be flipped around, but you know, this is what it is. It's pretty good. Okay, so I got my armature set up, and so you'll get better at what that means. You know, it's a little complicated. So got my armature inside of my character. Now what do I do next? Be in object mode, and what we're going to do is parent, which is saying the mesh is going to live under the restrictions of the armature. So the character's mesh is going to belong to the armature. So to do that, you got to be in object mode, and you press A to deselect everything, because you got to restart over. The order you click is super important. First, you want to click. You'll hold Shift, and you right-click select the house character, and then you right-click select the armature. And what that means is the house is parented to the armature. You do it the other way around, and this process doesn't work. And then you hit Object, Parent, then you say Armature Deform, which is Control P. You say you want to use automatic weights. Now, if I did this correctly, and there's like a 50% chance I didn't, because, you know, the way these things work. Oh, it worked. Okay, but when I open, oh god, look at that. That's not pretty. You see, it didn't quite work how we wanted, and the reason why makes sense. Remember, there's not a lot of verts. There's not a lot of verts in my mesh, so the bone didn't have anything to grab onto, so it's trying to do its best. So what we need to do is add some geometry, so that's a quick fix. Control Z. Actually, there's a better way to do it. You go, I think it's Alt. You select all your bones, and they say Alt G, Alt R. There we go. Alt G, Alt R. It clears. Alt G clears the translation. Alt R clears rotation. Alt G would clear scale, but I didn't have any scale to do. So this is pose mode, and in pose mode you basically can temporarily move your armature around and try things, and later we can get into naming poses and stuff. But anyways, let's fix the way our mesh is behaving. So go into the mesh and notice, yeah, there's a lack of geometry here. So we're going to do something quick and dirty here. It's just not good practice, but whatever. WS, 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 WS. Okay, bam. Now I got a ton of verts. Like there's no way it's going to run out of verts here. Get out of there. Tab back in object mode. Notice it looks the same, only now there's an insane amount of verts. So what we're going to do is we got to clear the parenting. So to do that, there's a lot of ways, but one thing you do is go in your outliner, grab the house, and I could just move it until it says drop to clear parent, and they're both, now they're not parented. So if I click on my thing in pose mode now, it doesn't move anything. Okay, out of pose mode, back in object mode. So first you click the mesh, then you click first the mesh, then the parent, and then you say object, parent, armature deform automatic weights, and you see the hourglass. Oh my gosh, so many verts. You're crazy, dude. Okay, now we go into pose mode. And now it moves smoothly. So it's because we added geometry. Good morning, this is William Ash. Yes. Business 101? I don't think there's Business 101. There's a Business 111, which is business math. Yep, and that's on the Web Designer Associate degree. No problem. Sorry, I had a phone call there. But anyways, now notice our awesome armature is now very much more posable, and you can play around with it, and ew, that doesn't look quite right. But anyways, next step is to do character animation. So anyways, this is making a house into a character and then rigging it, and then we're going to get into animating this thing later. So thank you for watching. Hope this was interesting, and we'll just keep building on this project. Thank you very much.